You wake up early, work hard, try to stay organized. You watch videos about finances, dream of freedom, but at the end of the month, the feeling is the same. Nothing really changes. The money disappears. Your energy drops, and the dream of a wealthy life feels further and further away. The truth? What's holding you back isn't always visible. Oftentimes it's silent habits, small routines, subtle thoughts, behaviors that seem harmless, but deep down, disconnect you from your power to prosper. In this video, I'm going to show you the 5 invisible habits that were silently keeping me from the wealthy life I wanted, even when I thought I was doing everything right. If you're ready to flip this switch now, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Because what comes next will show you where your prosperity is truly leaking. Habit 1. Thinking financial organization is only for people who already have a lot of money. For a long time, I kept saying a phrase without realizing how much it was sabotaging me. When I start earning more, then I'll get organized. And guess what happened? Even when I earned more, I was still lost. I didn't know where my money had gone. I couldn't save. I kept missing deadlines, and the feeling was always the same. It's never enough. It wasn't until a friend who made less than I did started to thrive that I realized money doesn't follow value. It follows direction. She knew how much was coming in. She knew where it was going. She knew how much she could spend, and even earning less, she was growing. That's when I understood that organization isn't for those who have a lot. It's for those who want to have more. Organizing your finances is an act of command, of maturity, of readiness. It's like saying to money, you can come, there's structure here. Want to apply this today? Create a simple system: income, expenses, and purpose. Set a fixed amount, even if small, to save every month. Label your expenses consciously. Does this bring me closer to, or take me away from, the wealthy life I want? And now tell me in the comments, do you already have a financial organization system? Or are you still keeping everything in your head? Answering this might be your first step toward unblocking the flow. Habit 2. Complaining about life. Even between the lines, you might not even realize it. But the way you talk about your life, your job, your money, shapes what you attract. For a long time, I didn't consider myself a complainer. But when I started paying attention to my words, I noticed the pattern. I can't stand this traffic anymore. Money's only enough to cover bills. Everything is expensive. With what I do, it's hard. That person's lucky. I have to work 3 times harder. It was subtle, disguised as venting, as jokes, even as being realistic. But deep down, it was a repetitive scarcity narrative. And the problem is, your mind records everything. Everything you repeat becomes a belief, and every belief becomes a limit. When I realized this, I completely changed my language. I started correcting myself on the spot. I replaced phrases like, I can't afford it, with, I haven't planned for it yet. Just enough to pay bills, with, I'm learning to manage better what I have. It's hard with, I'm adjusting. Sounds small, but words are frequency, and life responds to how you position yourself in front of it. Rich women don't go around complaining. They communicate direction. Even in tough times, they speak like someone who knows she's on the right path, not like someone who's already given up. Habit 3. Getting distracted by what doesn't matter, and calling it productivity. There are days when you do 1,000 things, but in the end, you feel like you didn't do anything that truly moves your life forward. Ever felt that way? I have. Many days. Replying to messages, handling to-dos, posting content, joining meetings, sending emails, cleaning out the inbox. But the money wasn't growing. The opportunities weren't coming. And all I felt was frustration disguised as exhaustion. Until I understood. I was busy, not productive. I was filling my time with small tasks that gave me the feeling of movement, but didn't bring me closer to the wealthy life I claimed to want. A poor mindset loves to stay busy, because being busy keeps you from facing what really needs to change. The positioning you keep postponing, the courage to charge more, the plan you keep putting off, the goal you avoid confronting. When I flipped that switch, everything changed. I started asking myself every day, what brings me closer to my financial goal today? And whatever didn't fit that answer was left for later. I created focus, cut distractions, silenced other people's urgencies. And the results came quickly. Rich women don't do 1,000 things. They do what needs to be done, with intention. They don't confuse movement with progress. They know focus builds, distraction drains. Habit 4. Seeking approval before seeking results. For years, my decisions weren't based on what I wanted, but on what I thought others would think. Will they judge me if I charge this? Will they think I'm too much if I position myself this way? Will they think I'm arrogant if I talk about money naturally? And behind every what if was a real fear, the fear of not being accepted. This habit is subtle but corrosive, because it wears the mask of humility, kindness, sensibility, but underneath, it's insecurity disguised as consideration. And that insecurity makes you charge less than your worth, speak with less conviction, wait for permission to grow, over-adapt to others, and miss opportunities that demand courage, not approval. Until one day, I heard a phrase that hit me like a slap. Do you want to be approved, or do you want to be free? It hit hard, because the woman who sustains a rich life doesn't trade her growth to please others. She doesn't mold herself to others' opinions. She stands her ground, and those who need to adjust. The shift begins when you change the question, from, will they like it? To, does this move me in the direction of the life I want? If the answer is yes, you already know what to do, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's scary. Because your freedom is worth more than the validation of people who don't pay your bills. Habit 5, waiting for the perfect moment to start. When I have more time, when I've saved more money, when I feel more secure, when the kids are older, when it's January, or Monday, or next month. If you've caught yourself thinking like this, know this. You're feeding one of the most expensive habits there is. The habit of endless waiting. For a long time, I hid behind that excuse disguised as planning. I kept saying it wasn't the right time, that I needed more preparation, more structure, more validation. But the truth? I was afraid to start, afraid to fail, afraid of being judged, afraid of being disappointed. Until one day, tired of seeing myself stuck in the same place, I wrote on paper, the perfect scenario will never come. I need to become the ideal one to take action. That's when everything shifted. I started however I could, with the resources I had, with the courage I had, and each step built a new foundation. It wasn't perfect, but it was possible. And more importantly, it was real. Women who build wealth don't wait for the perfect timing. They decide and create the right timing through action. Want to break this habit now? Choose one goal you've been putting off. Take one practical action toward it in the next 24 hours. And stop worrying about starting the right way. Just start. And adjust along the way. The wealthy life you want isn't in the future. It's on the other side of your first step. You can have the best intentions. You can work hard, be committed, dream big. But if the habits guiding your days are silently self-sabotaging, the rich life you want will keep feeling far away, even if you're just a few steps from it. These behaviors don't scream. They whisper. But their impact echoes through everything. Your bank account, your energy, your decisions. The good news? You can flip that switch today. And it all starts with clarity, responsibility, and intentional action. Now tell me in the comments, which of these habits did you recognize in yourself? Naming it is the first step to disarming it, and declaring it is the first step to transforming. If this video flipped a switch for you, like it, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend who needs to hear this. Maybe she's also trapped in silent habits, and doesn't even know it. The rich life doesn't begin with a number in your account. It begins with the decision to stop repeating what pulls you away, and start living what brings you closer, for real.